Hello, everyone. My name is Alexander Lucard, and I am an HMIS administrator for Montgomery County. In today's training, we're going to look at the Summary tab, which is the very first one right here on your client's information page. So, for example, we're doing the test client George Jetson today, and we can see the Summary tab is right here on the upper left-hand side, and then there are all these other little tabs. What's nice is that the Summary tab actually contains most of these tabs so that you have a one-stop shop to look at things. HMIS is for multiple visual styles. The Summary tab has everything on one page here, in case that's the way you like to look at things. Well, some people might be like, information overload, and would prefer to click on each of the tabs one by one like this. So as we can see here, we've got the household tab for the Jetsons. We could also either do our editing here or starting a new household, or we can click on the households tab here. Case managers, we've got the case manager tab here. We could do it there, right? With services, we can do the same thing. We can click on service transactions, add service if we like to look at one thing one at a time, or we can do the services here on the Summary tab and just click add service. Same with entry exits. We've got an entry exit here, or we can just go to the entry exit tab. If we want to do incident reporting, we can click here on the Summary page, or we can go to the client profile and scroll all the way down and do incidents here. You know, it's the same destination, but different journeys. And finally, release of information. We've got the release of information here, or we can click on the ROI tab and do our release of information here. It just depends on what way works best for you visually. Do you like everything in one spot, or do you like to hone in on one thing at a time and not get distracted by the other options? HMIS, the service point version that we use here in Montgomery County, works for both ways. Just depends on how you want to do it. And that's all there really is for the Summary page. Now, this is the view of the Summary tab for most of you. For a few of you that have high-level access, like myself, let me show you the little bit of a difference that we have here with our Summary tab. So we go in, let's go look at George Jetson again. And we can see we have the same stuff. We've got the same basic information demographics. We've got the households, case manager services, entry, exit, incidents, and release of information. But we have a little bit more. This is where all the coordinated entry pieces are if you have access to that. So if you're part of the team that coordinates and manages the coordinated entry system, you're going to have this little bit here, like the housing placement. You're going to have the ability to view the BI SPDATs. You have the ability to look at income. And of course, you'll have the document ready questions. All sorts of, there's a lot more here if you're one of the people in charge of the coordinated entry system, or you have access to that, such as a system administrator 2 level. So there's just this little extra bit here for you guys. And this is where you do your documentation check, where you're going to do your document ready, and more stuff for the coordinated entry placement. Now, everything on the coordinate or everything on the Summary tab is going to be covered in a separate training. We do case management in a separate training. We do the household tabs in multiple trainings. Service transactions have their own trainings. Incident reporting has its own training. Entry exit has multiple trainings. Release of information has its own training. And for those of you that do this extra coordinated entry part, this is a separate training for you guys. There's also a document ready training. So there's lots of little trainings that accompany all the things that are on the Summary tab. Today, we're just talking about a quick overview so that you understand that the things on the Summary tab can also be reached by these tabs here at the top. That's all there is today. We just wanted to go through a quick, brief overview of the Summary tab and remind you that you don't have to do everything here on the Summary tab. You can do everything on each individual tab or vice versa, just whatever works best for you. Because sometimes when you have multiple options that look very similar, you might be like, oh no, which is the right way to do it? Well, both are the right way. It just depends on what way you like to look at things and what way you want to get there to your destination of entering the information. That's all I've got for you today. Thank you for joining us for the Summary tab training, and I look forward to joining you with more trainings in the future. You have a great day.